Hey there, so I'm Tom here with RigAdvice, and today we're looking at the QPad QH90 Gaming Headset. Now, I bought this because I've been through loads and loads of gaming headsets, and all of them have had one or two problems with them. Some of them have broke, some of them I haven't liked, some of them have been uncomfortable. Bit of a gaming headset slut, I suppose you could say. But cracking on, QPad are one of the smaller firms, I guess, in the kind of computer peripherals market. I hadn't heard of them up until an issue of Custom PC that I read last month. They did a headset roundup, which is definitely worth reading, and these guys came top. So I thought I'd check them out and see what all the fuss was about. So this is the box. It's very nicely made. It's absolutely solid. You could ship it through China Air, no problem at all, and it would arrive safe and sound. I have no doubts about that. I've actually taken the headset out of the box already, so here it is. So basically it comes in white and black at the moment. I could only find the white version on sale in the UK, which doesn't match the rest of my computer setup, which is kind of a ROG black theme, but such is life. I wanted to try them out, so I dived in anyway. So yeah, they're £75 they cost me. I got them from Amazon, but of course they're available from loads of different places. I'd suggest Scan or eBuyer, something like that. In terms of the design, they're quite nicely made actually. They've got kind of this aluminium style arm, which comes down and connects to the ear cup. It feels very, very solid. A lot of gaming headsets have problems on the arms, where the arms are snapped, and users have found, you know, they've spent £75, £100 on a gaming headset, and 3 weeks in, a month in, the arm's broken, or they've got plastic cracking along here. But I don't see this being a problem with this. It's the plastic itself that they've actually made some of the headband with, and also the ear cups with, is a very, very high quality kind of matte plastic. It's reasonably lightweight, but you can feel the weight that is there is in the ear cups, which is good, because that usually means the components and the speakers that they're using to generate sound are good quality. But we'll see about that. Everyone's favourite, braided cable at the top there. You've got a soft band here, which you can see. It's nice and springy. It doesn't hurt your head after long periods of gaming. I've played about 3 hours or 4 hours of Battlefield in a row, and no problems there. I'd say my head size is probably about medium, in case you're wondering. Okay, so we've got the ear cups themselves are kind of a leatherette style, and what that usually means is that it's the sound isolation is very good. And I gave these to my housemate to put on yesterday. Put on some Jim Eat World, and he just started shouting at me because they obviously couldn't hear how loud he was speaking, which was quite amusing. So yeah, the sound isolation is very good. They're probably good for, you know, if you play a lot of gaming late at night, you don't want to wake up your girlfriend or your partner or your kids or whatever. Definitely good for that, no sound leakage. And equally, that means that kind of all the sounds stay in the headset. What you do get from kind of like the open design is a bit more of an expansive sound, which some people prefer. It's up to you really what you prefer. Okay, so outside of the actual cable, sorry, our headset, we've got the cable, which is so long. It's the longest headset cable I've ever encountered. It must be 3 or 4 meters long. It's incredible, and it comes in lots of different bits, so you can kind of like connect up different sections of it depending on what your needs are. If you're really far away from your computer, you can have it like, you know, you can have the full length of the cable on there. If you're a bit closer, then you only need a meter, and you don't want loads of cable hanging off your desk, then you can just use one of them. It's actually got an inline remote there in the cable. I mean, that's pretty standard nowadays. Even the cheapest gaming headsets from Thermaltake will have that. So it's nothing to home out, but it is there, which is good. Obviously the mic, we've got a mic here. Being a gaming headset, you can take it off, which is great. if you want to rock these on some public transport or whatever, and you don't want to look like a total nerd, you can take off the mic there, and just, they're actually, to be fair to them, they look great, they really do, and I'd happily wear them out, which I can't say for kind of all of the gaming headsets. Yeah, that disconnects. What I would say about the microphone is that it's obviously got this material around the outside to kind of, apparently that stops kind of like the breathing sounds, etc., being picked up. But it is very large, and I can see it in my peripheral vision. It doesn't bother me that much, but maybe, I don't know if there's a way of making it smaller, QPad. But if you do listen to this, that's something that I've personally found. I can see it in my peripheral vision. It doesn't. It's not as if the screen's being covered up at all, but it's just kind of, I'm aware it's there. Okay, so I'd say overall the build quality is on par with the Razer Carcharias, which is one of my personal favourite headsets, and actually one of the only ones that I haven't broken. And also, I picked up some really good Thermaltake eSports. I think they were about £25, brand new, and they're not very comfy, and the sound quality isn't great. They're fine, but importantly, they're very, very sturdily built, and they're now my LAN, kind of like, if we're going to a LAN party, I bring them. So, you know, chuck them in the bag, don't worry about them. I think you could probably do that with these as well. How do they sound in games? Because that's probably the most important part of gaming headset, obviously. They sound great, they really do. You've got great kind of like bass response there. It's pitch perfect. I probably compare it to the level that the Asus Vulcan has, or the Logitech G35s, both of which have got really like meaty bass, which is what you kind of want in games, because, you know, it makes explosions exciting, makes the roar of the engine like sound really good, and you really like, it really helps with the immersion. What I would say about these when it comes to the bass is that it's slightly more punchy. I found with the Vulcans and the Logitech can be a bit overbearing sometimes, and it kind of overpowers a lot of the other sounds that you're hearing on the battlefield or in the race. So sometimes it's difficult to discern where kind of footsteps are coming from, things like that. But you know, so it's all a trade-off at the end of the day. So you've got to pick and choose what you prefer. The mid-range on these isn't the best I've heard. It's fine, but for that reason I probably wouldn't use it to just listen to music, etc, etc. Maybe that's something that will come once they've been broken in a bit, because a lot of people say, yeah, you know, headphones need to be broken in before they get they warm up a bit. Maybe that's going to be something that changes over time, but when you pull them out of the packaging, the mid-range is great. It's just not as pronounced as you get on some like high-end hi-fi headphones, which is to be expected. After all, these are focused on gaming. Highs and treble, so again, really good, and that's something that's really important for a lot of people. So, you know, you're lying down, capturing a flag, and you've got an enemy running around you. This is really good for that. You can hear the footsteps really clearly. You can hear the crack of a sniper rifle shot going out over your head. And a lot of that really helps with kind of the way where you can helps with kind of like trying to tell where people are coming from. So if they come from behind you, it's very easy to hear that on these. Partly to do with how good the treble and kind of highs are, and how crisp they are and clear. As I said, a little bit maybe on the sharp side for listening to music, but again, it's a massive bonus if you're buying these for gaming, and that's what you should be buying them for. So with the way it is, get great overall sound. The level of bass makes explosions and crashes and stuff really exciting, and the focus on the treble and the mid-range means that the kind of choppers and footsteps and sniper rifle shots and stuff are really distinct and distinguished in game. I guess the closest rivals to this headset would be kind of the Corsair Vengeance, the Razer Carcharias, the Asus Vulcan, and the Logitech G35, some of which I've mentioned already. I know the Asus Vengeance has got great sound quality. It's quite comfortable, but I know there's a lot of build quality issues there with that. If you go and look on kind of the Newegg website where there's lots of reviews, you'll see loads of people have had problems with it cracking, like the headband cracking, which is something I talked about earlier. Razer Carcharias, really well built, really comfy. They've got kind of like a softer kind of like fabric to the ear cups, so they leak sound a bit more, and the overall sound quality just isn't as good. You haven't got the bass there that is nice to have on some gaming headsets. And when I was using those, that's something I really did miss. The Asus Vulcans were for a long time my favourite gaming headset. My personal experience with them is that I had 2 pairs go wrong on me. The mic broke on both times. So maybe that's a kind of a build quality issue, or maybe I just got unlucky. In terms of sound, they are absolutely great, the Asus Vulcans, so they're definitely something to look at as an alternative. And the only other thing is the Logitech G35s, which also have amazing sound. But again, as I talked about earlier, those and the Vulcan have got very heavy bass, which sometimes can be a bit overpowering. So this is the QPad QH90. First impressions, I guess, are the build quality that is really good. Overall, no complaints with comfiness either, which is obviously important when you're 9 hours into a gaming session. The sound quality is excellent. The bass is absolutely thrilling. The treble is really distinct. The price is right as well, £75. I think that's a decent price for the sound quality, comfort, and the build quality you're getting. And if I had to choose between this or the Vulcans at the moment, I would choose this. If these go wrong and kind of like the arms break off the ear cups in 3 months' time, then you know, then there's nothing to choose between the two. But as it looks on first impressions, to me, they kind of tell me that I've got a feeling that these aren't going to break, but we'll see what happens. So I don't really do ratings on RigAdvice at the moment, and especially with gaming headsets, because sound quality and comfort are such a personal kind of thing, and you know, like what some people might really find something really comfortable, and some people might say, I don't know how you can wear that, it made my ears bleed. So I guess the best thing to do is, all I can say to you is that from a sound quality perspective, I've tried a lot of headphones and headsets out now, and these are absolutely top notch for £75. To me, they're very comfortable, and the build quality to me suggests that they're going to last. So I hope that's useful. Go and check out the QPad's QH90.